Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. So let's talk about some very cool stuff that's been happening within Blender and also around Blender for the past few weeks, days, stuff like that. First off, we've got a message from the new board taking charge of Blender. And this is to new leadership and the whole transition, as they're super excited on embarking on this journey together, and they're wishing everyone in the Blender community a great 2026. So this also doubles down as a New Year's message from them as well. And still in the spirit of the new year, the folks at Blender have come to an end of an era which has to do with how they store and also work with server systems and data. So they've officially transitioned from working with hardwares, or old hardwares I would say, to cloud. This was all caught up in a documentary that they put together in a series called Blender Heads. And so on episode 11, which is the end of an era, they went through and explored the early days of Blender, how they get to deal with the hardware, how they get to deal with, the server systems and all of that stuff, and the transition to cloud. And of course, if you do have the time, but possibly you haven't seen it, then I'll recommend that you go ahead and check it. Links to that is going to be in the description. Alongside this, we're also getting some money. And this is coming from the folks at Dell. If you go over to the Blender Development Fund, if you scroll all the way down, you would notice that Dell is now part of the corporate gold, which is good because we're getting more and more people coming into this. I think this has to do with some liaising with the folks at NVIDIA, because on X, the folks at Blender actually posted this. So welcome at Dell Tech to Blender Development Fund as corporate gold sponsor supported by NVIDIA. And this collaboration will enable Blender's development with the goal of continuously improving content creation tools that will benefit the entire community. So there seems to be some bromance happening between Dell and NVIDIA. And of course, if you also go over to their Facebook post, it is literally one and the same thing that they have here too. So we're having some sponsors coming in, which is pretty impressive. And if you simply go all the way down, there are also some nice sponsors within the corporate bronze that we don't really talk about. A huge shout out to everyone that is here within the diamond, titanium, platinum. All of these folks are contributing to making Blender better. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about LTS. So LTS, which is the long-term support, is having some updates. So the performance update seems to be rolling continuously, and now 4.2 has just had some nice updates in terms of bug fixes. So if you simply go all the way down here, you see some of the changelog that has to do with graph, remesh, baking, NLA strip, transforms, copy driver to selected, bone between sliders, and so on. And the same thing can also be said for 4.5. So if you go over to 4.5 as well, we've got some updates that also deals with some bugs that has been fixed. Now, the cool thing with the LTS is this, that if you do have a project that you're working on, I would suggest you stick with LTS because you're going to have support for a longer time, unlike just the regular versions that just simply roll out. So these one would be really good if you have like a whole pipeline and you want to stick with a particular version for a longer time. This is going to make a lot of sense. And all of these have supported download for Linux, Mac OS, whether using Intel, Apple Silicon. We've also got the Windows installer, the portable one. And for those that uses Windows M, there's also the installer and the portable zip file that you can work with. And for sure, if you like working with Steam, yep, you can also download from Steam. You can also download from Microsoft Store. And if you work with Linux, you can also download from Snapcraft. So these are nice, cool stuff. These LTS supports for 4.5 will continue till July of 2027. And for 4.2, this is going to run till July of 2026. And most of you guys might be asking, why are we even talking about LTS? I thought we have 5.1 coming out. What is going on with that? Oh yes, 5.1 is coming. And 5.1 seems to be in alpha. Things are going to look a bit more interesting starting from February, I think. So if we simply go over to the release note, you would notice right here that everything is still going to be in alpha up until the 4th of February of 2026. You might want to simply come through and check the schedule yourself, so just in case you like to follow up with the entire update of stuff coming to Blender 5.1, you can come through and follow up with this particular one. Of course, sometimes there are changes to the release and timing and scheduling, so this is going to serve as a better place for you to know when a particular version is going out of beta, going to release candidate, and potentially when this will be released. From what we have here, sometime in March, we're going to be having a full release of 5.1. Now, this doesn't go to say that all the features that were planned or talked about by Ton during the last Blender conference is coming with this. However, we can only hope and wish that most of those things actually make it to Blender 5 sometime in the future. As we simply go over to the release note, we do have a few things here, and most of these are sort of lacking. We're making a full video about this one where we're going to possibly breeze through most of these features, but as it stands now, many of them have little to nothing. For example, if we go over to places like physics, there's literally nothing in there. If we go over to, let's say, a grease pencil, we've got very tiny update right there. And the same thing applies to spots like cycles as well. We don't really have a lot of things going right there. For assets as well, we possibly don't even have a lot of things going. So hopefully before this gets into beta, we might see more and more updates come to this. So for those who like to see the video for 5.0 once we make an announcement, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you'll be informed once this gets published. And outside that, Flamenco version 3.82 is now available for download. So for those who have no idea, Flamenco is an open source render management system designed to coordinate and distribute rendering tasks across multiple computers. So primarily, this is built for Blender 3D Creation Suite, and it's been developed by the folks at Blender Studio and used internally for almost, if not all, of their animation productions. So you might want to consider checking this one out and getting it if you're looking for a render manager, or potentially you're building your very own render farm. Again, this has support for Windows, Linux, and also Mac. BCON will be happening sometime in April the 13th to 14th of 2026. So if you like to go, then this is currently running. You can sign up, you can buy your tickets now, and currently there's about 366 tickets remaining. So just in case you're in America or you can afford to travel down there, then this is definitely a nice conference. And for those that might want to do some presentations and stuff, you can submit your presentations. If you like to sponsor the event, you can also come through and sponsor the event right here. Speaking about sponsors, I think we've got some sponsors. So if we go all the way down, we've got sponsors like these folks at Bold Graphics. We haven't seen their hardware yet, but they seem to be creating something which I think would be super useful in the long run. We've got some silver sponsors and bronze sponsors. And yes, we've got some free stuff. So if you're looking for an exporter that you can use to export stuff from Blender to Godot, Unreal Engine, and also Unity, there is a free add-on that you can now use to do that. We also have another free add-on from Cassie Ship, which is for anyone that is thinking about doing this sort of sci-fi effect stuff. It's pretty amazing. I've talked about that on the channel before. Go ahead and grab it. And speaking about things that you can have, we're actually making a video where we're going to mention this one in full. But if you're looking for HDRIs, we've got a new spot for you. It's called Open HDRI. You can go there and grab tons of HDRI stuff. So from outdoor, which you have about 25, you've got indoor 17, nature 9, urban 14, studio 12. You've got all this stuff. You can click on anyone that you want to work with. Say for example, you like to get this one, you can click on that, click on download and have it. You've got file size going from 1K all the way to 29K. Heavy stuff. And all of these are CC0, which means that you can use them for literally anything that you want. So it's an amazing one. Open HDRI is beautiful, and we're also going to make a mention about it in our upcoming Free Friday video. We'll also have a nice tool which we've mentioned on the channel before. Many of you guys don't even know about this add-on, so I'm simply going to drop it here again so you can grab it. All you do with this is just select stuff, click on drop it, it drops it onto any surface. You possibly may have seen some physics tools that simply have this type of stuff, but it is a nice one and you can use it for anything that you're working with inside of Blender. So this is it. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Simply hit the subscribe button to stay informed when we release new videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.